We are going to India today, to the Himalayas, no less, home of the highest peak on the planet, Mount Everest. But this is not a story about mountains or brave explorers. We're instead looking at a little-known chapter from the story of one of the world's most popular bands of all time, and I know you're a big fan.
The Rolling Stones?
No.
The Kinks?
No.
The Who?
No.
Led Zeppelin?
No.
The Bee Gees?
No, but you begin with the right letter.
The Mamas and the Papas?
That doesn't begin with a B, does it?
The Boo Radleys?
That's a really obscure reference. No. No, never mind. You had your shot. The Beat. No. The Beatles.
Oh, I've not heard of them.
You're British. They give you that stuff in the womb.
What did they do?
They put the,
Which song?
Never mind. Let's get back to
that's Nirvana.
You're going to learn a lot from this story then. This is Where Did Everyone Go? With me, Dr. Sasha Auerbach.
And me, Tom Ward. A journey into the weird history of abandoned places.
Let's talk about the Indian Himalayas. Okay. We're not actually up in the mountains. We're kind of in the foothills. And we're going to the city of Rishikesh.
Okay, so from the video, I'm seeing a very wide turquoise-coloured river and our abandoned site perched on top of a cliff above it.
Yeah, we've got a mixture of buildings and forest. It's very overgrown, trees sprouting up everywhere.
And there are lots of small huts or domes, all identical and built of stone from the looks of it.
Yeah, they look like kind of stone beehives almost. There is one larger 4-story building that's divided into multiple smaller rooms, kind of like a hotel. And on the roof, there are these domed huts again.
Yeah, and then there's this kind of spiritual graffiti all over the place.
Mm-hmm. And a mural of the Beatles in one room, but with a bearded figure in a cloak standing between them.
Right then, Sasha. How did this Beatles come to be here?
This Beatles? The Beatles. I know you know who these guys are.
Help! Was that them?
That was them.
Help!
Or are you asking for help?
I want to hold your hand.
Yes.
Was that them?
That's absolutely
She
them.
loves you. Yeah.
Yes.
That was them.
Lovely Rita, Mita maid.
Right.
That's one of my favorites. So first of all, some Beatles
Where did everyone
facts.
go? Where did everyone go?
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. First of all, some Beatles facts. The Beatles reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for 20 different singles. For 6.5 years in America, they had the top-selling single 1 out of every 6 weeks and the top-selling album 1 out of every 3 weeks. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the album, was placed at number 1 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. And they have more UK number 1 albums and sold more singles than any other act in history. The EMI records state that they have sold more than 1 billion units worldwide.
That's a lot.
That is a ton.
Yeah. That's more than a ton.
That's more than, might be a megaton.
That's heavier than a ton.
They're a megaton band.
If you piled up 1 billion albums, records, that would weigh.
Could you reach the moon? They're pretty thin.
Probably fall over.
They'd probably fall over. Yes, they would.
Before it even broke into space, it would probably fall over.
Do we have to explain to our younger listeners what albums are?
Yeah, they don't listen to it. Okay,
they don't.
And MP3s don't weigh anything, do they?
Yeah.
So.
And people don't think of it, the idea of that back in the day when you put together songs, it was intentional. You could only listen to them in one order, really, because, giant plastic disc that only moves in one direction.
Yes.
And that the albums told a kind of story in the successive songs. And the Beatles were the masters of that. Each of the songs on their albums, fitting with not just the songs adjacent to it, but all the other songs on the album as well to create this kind of tapestry of sound.
Especially with Sgt. Pepper. And each song being informed by the last song.
Yeah. By 1967, the Beatles were exhausted. Paul McCartney said, quote, "It's great to be famous. It's great to be rich. But what's it all for?" Which seems like something that only a famous rich person could say.
I wish I was rich and famous so I could ask that same question.
Yes. Don't worry about it. Searching for answers in inner peace, the band ended up attending a lecture on transcendental meditation in London, given by the leader of this new spiritual movement. And this guy was called the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, yogi being a teacher. Impressed, they went on a 10-day conference in Wales and announced, wait for it, they were giving up drugs.
Wow.
Yeah. But their stay at the conference was cut short when their manager suddenly died.
Ugh.
This is when the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi invites them all to stay at his ashram in India. Ashram is a religious retreat.
Yeah. This guy wasn't an idiot. He saw a good promotional opportunity, didn't he? Did they go?
Sounds like it. Yeah. And they brought their significant others too. In addition to the band, other Western celebrities went. The singer Donovan, the actress Mia Farrow, the Beach Boys' Mike Love, model Jenny Boyd, who'd be the future wife of drummer Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac. Mm-hmm. All in all, 75 rich and famous Westerners descend on the ashram in early 1968. And keep in mind, this was before the whole craze for yoga and meditation in the West. Like, they were really pioneers of this kind of the West engagement with these practices.
Yeah. I'm hoping they got a refer a friend discount for all these people they brought.
You mean like a package tour deal?
Oh, yeah. If you bring in 75 mates, you probably should get 10-20% off, shouldn't you?
Well, normally the manager would negotiate that, but he died. So
right, yeah.
They probably didn't. They probably absolutely got fleeced in the deal.
They probably paid more.
Probably
I reckon
more, yeah.
Maharishi went, well, Beatles, eh? Well, normally it's 100
1 billion units.
Ruples. What's the Indian currency?
It's not rubles. It's
no,
Russia.
That's Russia, yeah.
Rupees.
Rupees.
Yes.
See, I was in the ballpark.
You were close.
That
you were
wasn't
very close.
Deeply problematic.
Yeah, it was closer than your attempt to guess the band.
Yes. Okay. So what's so good about this place then? Why does everyone want to be there?
Well, it's on the banks of the Ganges River.
Holy River.
The Holy River. That river is a very spiritual place. People come from all over the world to bathe in its waters. Proper pilgrims. The complex was built in 1963. It covers about 14 acres, mostly of forest. It has 6 long bungalows, each containing 5 or 6 double rooms, several vegetable gardens, a post office, a lecture theater, and a swimming pool. It's kind of like a spiritual summer camp.
Nice.
Now, here's a local guide, a guy named Raju, to tell us some more.
This place was created by famous Indian spiritual guru Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He created all the modern facilities that was required for his student to learn, his disciple to learn transcendental meditation. And within time, this became very famous and all. So the Beatles came here. Even Ringo compared it with modern camps of England. Butlin camp, he called, right?
Okay, Butlin. For our American listeners, Butlins is basically a kind of holiday camp. It's kind of a working class tradition. Families go there. The kids, there's shows for the kids by day, and then there's shows for the adults at nighttime. They have like huts, and the extractor fan is kind of like a plague of locusts. So if you go to the toilet, that's the sound it makes. And all the staff wear red coats, red jacket, like blazers.
Oh. And
they're all kind of have a sad look in their eye because they wish they were on Broadway, but they're stuck here with these horrible little shits.
Oh, that really does, really selling it. Sounds like you're representing the place.
Yeah, I've played there a few times. Yeah.
Oh, they still exist?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's the last stand between, liberal elitism and working class origins.
Ah, fair enough. Well, how do you think Ringo got on with the local Indian food?
I'm going to say he struggled, and he insisted on having mayonnaise with everything.
He was a proper lad from Liverpool. Well, here's Raju again.
There is an interesting incident about Ringo, because he was not compatible with Indian food. He was the first ever Beatles to abandon the ashram. And when he landed up in Rishikesh, he came up with 2 suitcases full of baked beans. But he stayed here for 10 days only. But his stay was very fruitful. He learned transcendental meditation from here, and he continues to practice meditation still now.
Nice. And I'm guessing with all those baked beans, he could levitate as well.
Yeah, I mean, baked beans are pretty hard on the digestive system. You think the Indian food would actually be easier on you. And again, it's funny to think about that because, going out for a curry is to my mind, such a British institution. But to think about, as recently as the late 60s, Indian food was unknown, basically unavailable in Britain.
Yeah. Would have been treated with great suspicion at first, and then people tried it, and their racism would have just washed away.
This was my favorite ritual with my best friend before we would go off to. We did it first before we went off to college the first time, and then we did it successively every summer. Was to go have a curry at a local place called the Bengal Tiger, and we were always. It was really amazing because there was a guy dressed as a Gurkha soldier at the front, a really fierce looking dude, and we were so excited. And then it burnt to the ground.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe the Gurkha set fire to it. Tired of his job.
That's a sad end.
It was a sad end. No more Bengal tiger.
Are you a poppadom guy?
I am a poppadom guy.
How many poppadoms do you eat when you have a curry?
All of them.
Would you have more than 3?
If I can get away with it, yeah.
What's the most amount of poppadoms you've ever eaten?
I think at a single setting, and we're talking like the proper big poppadoms, right?
Yeah.
I think I've had like 6 or 7 at a single setting.
Wow.
I know. I love them. Can't get enough.
I went out for curry once, and the waiter told me not to eat poppadoms. He said, "You'll spoil your appetite." He actually told me.
Which is very true.
I ate one, and he said, "Stop there." He seriously came over and said, "Stop
he
there,
said,
because
"Stop
you
eating
won't
the
enjoy the meal as
poppadoms."
much." I was like, "I respect you for that, but also I'm not coming back."
It's true. You don't want to fill up on crisps, before your meal. That's
Giant crisps.
But yeah, for those listening American, we mean potato chips.
Right, just one big round potato chip made out of
giant potato.
lentil.
Oh, now it makes me want poppadoms. Maybe we can get Indian.
Can
for
we get
lunch.
some in?
Anyway, moving on. The complex had 120 domes for private meditation, no showers, but this was on purpose because the yogi wanted people to bathe in the holy river Ganges. Mike Love from the Beach Boys said this, quote, "Spiders, stray dogs, and even an occasional tiger roamed the grounds."
Wow. Spiders roam? Was that just spiders walking
I guess
around?
they more sort of lurk.
Yeah, lurk and scuttle.
Yeah.
You don't see a spider roaming.
No, they're not really roaming type creatures.
Not really their character trait, is it?
Yeah, like, oh, look at the roaming spiders.
They're going somewhere. They're off. They're running away or running towards. They're not roaming.
I once read, I wish I could find the statistic, but in any given field, there is a shocking number of spiders in every square foot of that field.
Oh, yeah?
They really are everywhere.
Right.
So for all you arachnophobes out there,
yeah, it's worse than you think.
It's worse than you think. Don't go outside.
Ever.
It's all full of spiders.
I'm more scared of holes than spiders.
You're scared of holes?
Yeah, like tryptophobia, the little tiny holes when you have lots of holes clustered in it.
Oh, that is very disturbing.
And then stuff comes out of them.
Yeah. Thanks. I'll add that to my list of phobias now.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
There's always room for more. So they were basically just there to do meditation and chill out?
Well, yeah, they were there to master this particular form of meditation, which was known as transcendental meditation. They do morning meditation, lunch, afternoon meditation, and then in the evening, a lecture from the yogi. Harrison and Lennon really threw themselves into it. They loved it. They found the peace of mind that they were searching for. Harrison even said, quote, "I get higher than I ever did with drugs, and it's my way of connecting with God." But it was the sister of the actress Mia Farrow who took it really seriously. Her name was Prudence, and she used to meditate for so long that the Beatles were fascinated, and they composed one of their famous songs, which I bet you know.
She Loves You, yeah.
No.
A Day in the Life?
No.
Helter Skelter?
No.
I'll
give you
Norwegian Wood?
It references Mia Farrow's sister.
Mia Farrow's sister, Why Don't You Come Out to Play?
Man, you're so close. It's Dear Prudence.
Of course.
Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play?
I love that
Prudence,
song.
Open up your eyes.
I love that song. And Susie and the Banshees did a cover of that.
That's right.
Which is very nice.
So what do you think about the practice of meditation? Do you meditate?
I did meditate for a long time, and then I had a baby 10 months ago, and I can't find the time. But I'm noticeably less happy now that I'm not able to meditate, because it does make a massive difference.
It does.
And it feels like a real hack, just being able to sit in a room quietly and then come out feeling like you've dropped something pharmaceutical.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to teach my son how to meditate.
Are you?
Well, it makes him stop talking, which is a hard thing to do with an 8-year-old.
It's a very civilized way of saying shut up.
Yeah, exactly. No, we call it the monk game, and he loves it. It's how long can you stay quiet? And his current record is I kid you not, 46 minutes.
Wow.
I know, 46 minutes of silence from an 8-year-old. Can you imagine that?
Wow. But it's not really meditation if they're checking their stopwatch.
I have not pointed that out, but you are correct.
It's more of a kind of game.
Yeah, he also starts to gesticulate and try to get my attention, and I say, no, that's not what monks do. I'm not sure if he knows the difference between a monk and a monkey either.
Right,
So
well,
he might be thinking it's a monkey game.
A trainee monk?
Trainee is not called a monkey.
Right.
It's just I think an acolyte is the term one would use.
Okay.
Anyway.
Which is also a supplement if you're getting a cold.
Yeah, one cannot underestimate the value of 46 minutes of quiet from an 8-year-old.
No, it's lovely.
So, George Harrison had a 25th birthday party in one of the auditoriums here. 400 people came. They had a big special birthday cake, firecrackers, the whole thing. And the Beatles contemplated making their own Lord of the Rings movie while they were at the ashram. They each read one of the books in preparation, and apparently John Lennon was going to play Gollum, Paul was going to play Frodo, George Harrison was going to play Gandalf, and Ringo Starr was going to play Samwise Gamgee.
I've not actually seen Lord of the Rings or read it, so I can't comment.
You haven't read Lord of the Rings?
I'd like to say something funny here, but I haven't read it. So
is this another thing like where you pretend you don't know who the Beatles are? You've genuinely not read Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
You have to turn in your nerd card now.
Yeah,
you can't be a member of the nerd club
I've
anymore.
never claimed to be a nerd. I'm far too popular with the ladies.
Oh, all right then.
I don't even know how to use a computer.
Yeah, I believe that. So, Yoko Ono comes into the story here too.
Yoko.
Everyone loves Yoko. Here's Raju to explain.
A post office and a bank used to operate from this campus in the 60s. And John Lennon used to stay on the back gate side. And every day he used to rush to collect his mail from the post office. He used to get mail, one postcard from Yoko Ono every day. As he was in love with Yoko Ono, and though he came here with his wife Cynthia Lennon, and she was also attending the course, but he used to rush from the back gate to the post office every day. So many of the postcards which were dispatched from this post office are still auctioned. They are auctioned worldwide, and they are in popular demand among the Beatles fans.
I feel sorry for Cynthia.
Yeah.
So Lennon was a enlightened and a love rat at the same time.
Yeah.
It's quite a nifty having your cake and eat it kind of thing, isn't it? Well, I see God, and I have no ego and no greed, but I do want 2 women, and I won't tell my wife about the other one.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is where I admit my ignorance. I do not know that much of Beatles lore. I know that Yoko Ono is sort of a controversial figure in many ways.
She wrote Imagine.
She did?
That was her poem. He stole it and didn't admit it for 10 years.
That's mean.
Yeah, he said it was because he was trying to be macho, didn't want to show vulnerability by admitting that he got help.
I've gotten advice from people that I should be more vulnerable and show it, and I was like, what the hell's the point of that? I told him to shut up.
Yeah. A little bit of vulnerability can, be good. But you got to know when to rein it in, haven't you?
Fair
enough.
enough.
Be like a wet sock. No one wants a wet sock.
If I was wearing wet socks, I would feel very vulnerable.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah, to like pneumonia.
And it makes a horrible sound when you're walking.
Yeah, squelch, 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 squelch.
It's quite pervy.
Oof. Oh, okay, moving on. In 1970, John Lennon revealed he was going to bring Ono on the trip. And here's a quote. "But I lost me nerve because I was going to take my wife and Yoko and I didn't know how to work it. So I didn't do it. I didn't quite do it."
Wow. I mean, logistically, it's better to have them both there, though it does create stress. It's better for organising to meet up.
I don't think having your lover and your wife at a meditation retreat is conducive to achieving transcendental peace.
No.
For any of the people involved.
You'd probably find your mind would be drifting into logistics while you're trying to clear it.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to be anyone in any one of those positions. It sounds...
Yeah.
And that's not even counting the spiders and the tigers and maybe some, the occasional dodgy curry.
Yeah. But other than that, how successful was the trip?
Well, pretty successful. As well as meditation, they played lots of music here. They would play on the rooftop every day, and they ended up composing 48 songs. Actually, a big part of the White Album was composed here. Wow. So Back in the USSR and I'm So Tired were composed here. The latter apparently by Lennon after he was suffering from weeks of poor sleep at the ashram. They were meant to be here for 3 months.
He was up shagging all the time with his various women.
Apparently. I mean, that'll keep you up, I suppose. They were meant to be here for 3 months, but didn't really make it that far. Ringo was the first to leave after only 10 days. Paul McCartney was here for 5 weeks, and John Lennon and George Harrison stayed for 8 weeks.
Okay. And why did Ringo leave so early? Had he run out of beans?
Apparently so. His bean supply was depleted. Well, this is where the controversy comes in, and it depends on who you ask. Some people say homesickness. Some cite various commitments they had back in England, and there are some who say that they left because the Maharishi behaved improperly with some of his guests. Towards the end of their stay, Lennon apparently accused the Maharishi of sexual impropriety against Mia Farrow and others.
Okay.
Here's what he said in 1971 about the end of their time in India. So we went to see the Maharishi, the whole gang of us, the next day, charged down to his hut, his bungalow, his very rich-looking bungalow in the mountains. And as usual, when the dirty work came, I was the spokesman. Whenever the dirty work came, I actually had to be a leader. And I said, "We're leaving." "Why?" he asked. And all that shit. And I said, "Well, if you're so cosmic, you'll know why."
You dirty rotter, you know why. Clear your head, you greedy little swine.
That is a pretty good comeback, though.
Imagine no erections.
If you have a third eye that can see everything, surely you saw this coming.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is, Maharishi.
Well, he also would have stocked up on more cans of beans, I think, if he was all-knowing, all-seeing.
Yeah, to keep Ringo in the picture. Though, he probably saw Ringo as the least valuable asset to his brochure.
Maybe he was hoping to replace him.
Maybe Pete Best was on the other line.
So Lennon would later write the song Sexy Sadie in revenge. He wanted to call it Maharishi, but the band persuaded him not to, as the accusations were only based on rumors. So this is where you get the line, "Sexy Sadie, you'll get yours, however big you think you are." Now, the Maharishi, for his part, always denied the claims. He insisted that he asked the band to leave as drugs and alcohol were being consumed on the compound. Which might be true, because in her memoirs, Cynthia Lennon admitted some of the group had indeed been smuggling in hooch. Harrison would later reconcile with the guru, though, and McCartney and Ringo appeared at a function promoting transcendental meditation in 2009. But Lennon spoke with contempt for the Maharishi for the rest of his life.
That dirty pig, giving it the big TM. He's just a dog like the rest of us. Is Cynthia out? I want to get Yoko over.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a, living in a glass house and throwing stones there.
Yeah, you always hate the thing that you are, right?
Yes, that's what I've heard.
That's why I hate really sexy guys with Beatles haircuts. And a nonchalant attitude that seems like they don't care.
Yeah, that seems like it would work.
So what happened to the ashram? I'm guessing the Beatles thing had a big effect on it and people started turning up and drawing on the walls and that sort of thing.
Yep, had a huge effect on Indian tourism. You saw 30% growth in the arrival of foreign tourists after this time. Yeah, I know. And it transformed Rishikesh into this famous international destination for anyone interested in yoga and meditation. But the ashram itself didn't last that long. The Maharishi Mahesh Yogi only had the land on lease from the forest department, and when the lease expired in 1981, they couldn't get it renewed, and the local government wouldn't allow them to operate it anymore. So it was just left to ruin.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and then finally in 2015, it became part of the Rajaji Tiger Reserve, and the site opened up again to tourists.
Okay, so cue millions of people in Beatles wigs turning up, reenacting photos of them meditating and stuff like that.
But with tigers.
People with beans.
Which is a rather startling interruption to any meditation, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that a spider roaming towards us?
Like, I mean, the idea of here, go into this abandoned stone building and close your eyes, but there are also tigers. I mean, and you mean like spiritual tigers? Like, no, literal, actual tigers.
Yeah, they're not interested in meditation at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
They tried it, it just didn't work for them.
The tigers.
Yeah, they already had a clear head. I mean, not having thought in there wasn't the problem.
Yeah, tigers meditating. What would that actually look like? I mean, cats Cats certainly seem like they're meditating. I mean, what they look like is they're meditating, and then all of a sudden they have to be in the next room.
Yeah.
So
you ever had a cat? Do you have cats?
No, we just rent cats.
You rent cats?
Well, I mean, we let them in. We don't. I don't mean we pay someone for the privilege. No joke. These cats wander around, and someone posted on the that next door site. They were really angry because someone had Febrezed their cat.
No.
Yes. It was literally, who Febrezed my cat?
Oh, that's not nice.
We don't know what that cat smelled like.
Was it because it stank? It wasn't.
Well, presumably it wasn't
here.
just like, here, have some Febreze.
Yeah, it's when you're with a cat and they suddenly decide to walk across the room and not even leave, they just want to sit in the corner of the room on their own. That always feels quite hurtful. I find it's like,
do you take it
stroking
personally?
them, having a nice moment, and then just like, no.
Do you explain to them that you're a sexy, successful guy with a Beatles haircut? They shouldn't treat you this way?
That's what keeps me humble. The aloofness of my cat. I don't even have a cat anymore. She died. But,
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I won't be renting that one then, I suppose. Anyway, back to the Maharishi.
What about him? What happened to him then?
Yeah. So he died in 2008, and it said he trained more than 40,000 meditation teachers, that he taught his technique to, this is quote, more than 5 million people, and founded thousands of teaching centers all over the world. He even has a university in Iowa.
Wow.
And, well, for a spiritually oriented guy, he got quite rich. He amassed a personal fortune of over $1 billion.
Jeez. And of course he had Mia Farrow's number in his dirty little book.
Yeah, yeah.
Call me anytime, Mia.
I have beans.
Wow. So this guy really changed a lot of people's lives. I mean, Lennon hated him.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the big dudes introducing transcendental meditation and general Eastern spiritual practices to the Western world. I mean, and he had these amazing cultural ambassadors in the Beatles. Even if their personal relationship was obviously a bit fraught, I mean, they certainly took that idea with them. I mean, think about it. Like, the 70s, meditation, Eastern religion, Eastern spirituality. You couldn't swing a rented cat without hitting some of that stuff.
And now it's kind of evolved into mindfulness,
which
is the kind of, from what I can see, kind of rich white people who just want to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say that these, I mean, to call them Eastern practices is oversimplification, but this idea of meditation and the balance between physical well-being, spiritual well-being, like, it's still very much part of Western culture today, and certainly yoga's very popular.
Yeah.
I think the real takeaway point from this is that, hard is the road to spiritual awakening and peace. And then there's that old saying about the incompatibility of wealth and spirituality. But I was successful
and power as well.
And
what I like about this story is the human element. You can't escape the human element, no matter where you are. There's human dynamics going on. There's people with beans and their dietary requirements. There's people accusing others of being love rats. There's people sneaking in their mistresses. There's this element of people will just be people, no matter how blissed out and how close to God they are.
Yeah, apparently so. Can't escape the meat, even in a place that only serves vegetarian food.
Yeah.
So, as a Beatles fan, any final thoughts on this story, this chapter in Beatles lore?
I just think what they did was so revolutionary. The fact that mindfulness and meditation has become so part of the culture now that we don't even see it as taboo. Like, back in the day, this would have been a huge thing to do. And to do something that's about raising the consciousness, they went away from just being pop stars to something else, which is what I think marks them out as the greatest ever, because they changed music, but they also they were kind of meddling with the fabric of the culture as well.
Yeah. And there are political messages, to a lot of their music about the desirability of peace, the absurdity of life.
How yogis can also be dirty little dogs as well.
Yeah, well, I think they left that. I mean, that's the part that makes me a bit sad is, that they felt the need to sort of demonize this guy and their music. I mean, eventually he was very, very successful, but at the time this was a guy that was just kind of trying to run his thing. And
And buy his nice cars.
And buy his nice cars later on. It seems to come later on. But, you know, people get in these little spats about stuff. And if he was doing what they say he was doing, then yeah, he deserved it. But who knows? Different. You apparently get a different version of the story no matter who you talk to.
I think, but the fact that they got into transcendental meditation would have changed everything for them. Harrison, his solo career was completely defined. His solo career was completely defined by spirituality.
Yeah.
And the lyrics. This isn't just love songs. It's something else. It does go to another realm.
Yeah. And also what this did for the appeal of Indian culture and tourism in India, Indian food more generally. Sounds like it was really huge.
Yeah.
I mean, these days, you know, especially if you live in Britain, the culture, the understanding that these cultures are assimilated, and that this is like an ancient and very sophisticated culture, whether it's the cuisine or the religion or the spirituality, is just taken as a matter of course, right?
Yeah. And without the Beatles, maybe I wouldn't have spent a weekend in the toilet after a vegetable dance sack and 19 poppadoms last Friday. That wouldn't have maybe got to England.
I was hoping we'd end on a more positive note, but we can end on that disgusting one instead. Like, you know, inner peace comes at a price, Tom.
Yeah,
and you have to be willing. You have to be willing to pay that price.
Yeah, and I just want to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Next time, just stick with the beans. And we'll end there.
Producer Lewis here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Where Did Everyone Go? New episodes every Wednesday and Sunday. Follow, comment, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.